Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I'm going to be revealing X's performance on Britain's Got Talent in his audition. He basically does this sort of psychic connection act with Ant and Dec on this show. If you guys haven't seen the performance already, I will link it down below. Make sure you guys go check that out and come right back here to watch the tutorial. Now, if you guys want to see any of the Blaines Got Talent, and also AGT is going to be coming up in a couple months as well. If you want to see all the reveals, we will be posting them right here on this channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed. And also, don't forget to enter the giveaway. We do have a brand new giveaway. It will be ending in a couple weeks. All you guys have to do enter is like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment something in the comment section down below, and make sure you guys turn on your post notifications. We are giving away $50 of Amazon gift cards, and we're also going to be giving away 12 Monarch decks of cards by Theory 11. These are Theory 11 cards right here. You can look them up for yourself if you don't know what the Monarchs look like. Really great deck of cards. So we're going to be giving 12 of those away as well. Now, guys, quick disclaimer before we get into the reveal. I want you guys to quickly understand that none of the stuff I'm going to be explaining to you guys today is going to have concrete evidence. Now, I will sort of explain why as we go along through the video, but just quick disclaimer that we don't exactly have proof. A lot of the stuff we're going to be explaining to you guys today are mainly theories, but we have been doing this for a pretty long time, so we've seen a lot of these tricks happen, with different magicians, and you sort of catch patterns as you go along. So we're going to be explaining the most likely scenario that he used to get this trick done. Anyway, guys, let's get straight into this reveal. So what we're going to start here is you're going to notice X, he does not talk throughout the trick. He's going to have this pre-recorded sort of voice memo that's going to be going on throughout his performance. And he's also going to need Ant and Dec for his trick. And he's going to establish this sort of bond, this sort of connection between them through a common trick that is the touch trick. Now, basically what he's going to do within the trick is he's going to touch one person in different locations. So he'll tap the head, he'll tap the side, and basically both of them are going to feel him touching them. Now, how is this done? Well, a lot of people, I've been looking online, and it seems like there's a lot of people on Twitter talking and saying that they think this trick is staged, that they think it's fake. Now, what I will say is this. I'm not saying that the trick was fake. I'm not saying that Ant and Dec were in on the trick and that they were stooges in a way. I'm not going to say that because obviously I don't have evidence to confirm that theory. Obviously, you guys can think that as well. But what I will say for you guys today is that especially with a lot of these talent shows, Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, at least the TV producers, they do a very, very good job hiding a lot of the subtleties that happen in the trick. Now, what do I mean by subtleties? So, let me give you an example, for example, with like a singer, okay? There has been a lot of evidence that singers on these shows have been auto-tuned. Now, do we have proof that they're auto-tuned? No, but a lot of these people are actually getting auto-tuned, and even in the live performances, there actually is proof that producers can actually auto-tune live performances as well. Now, how does this relate to magic? So, whenever you have a trick going on Britain's Got Talent, you have to understand that there's actually a round on Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent before the auditions, and that's to even make it on TV in the first place. So, when you go in this sort of first round here, you're performing the same exact trick that you're going to do in your audition, so they know exactly what you're going to do. Now, obviously, as you go to the later rounds, for example, the semifinals and the finals of Britain's Got Talent, they have rehearsals all the time. Why? Because a lot of the time magicians are going to need help from assistants, from some of the stage crew members. They need to know, like the producers need to know, oh, where are you going to stand so we know which camera to use. So a lot of this is pre-planned before he actually goes on stage. Now, again, this is all going to be on the work of the producers. Now, again, because the audition is not live, it's not a live performance, keep in mind that a lot of the camera work is going to be done in a specific manner to make the trick more reasonable. Now, what is Britain's Got Talent? Let's completely understand this. What is Britain's Got Talent? It's a show. What are they looking for? They're looking for good ratings. So when it comes to singers, whether it's auto-tuning their songs, whether it's magicians and doing camera cuts and cutting out parts of the trick or using certain camera angles that make it so you basically can't see what the magician's doing, right? Very similar to when a magician goes out and performs on the street and they do a card trick. They know what angles are going to work best for the trick and which angles are going to expose what they're doing. Very, very similar here. The producers all know where the soft spots are. And in addition to that, they're going to make camera cuts. And you'll notice, what are the camera cuts? Every single time the camera changes its angle, okay? What I mean by that, 1 second it's a close-up of the face. Another second it's like this far sort of camera angle that shows the stage. And then another second they're showing the judges' faces, right? There's all these camera cuts. What I mean by a camera cut that producers use to help magicians is they actually cut out a lot of the performance. So if you were to watch it live, you would have seen a lot more happen live. So let's say the video that you see on YouTube is a 3-minute performance. His performance may have been 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but they cut out 30 seconds of it just so you couldn't see it, right? And why would they do that? To make it look more reasonable on TV. So am I saying it's fake? No, but what I am saying today is that there's not a lot of sort of evidence and there's not a lot of video that you can go off of to say how he actually did it. Now, this is a trick that David Blaine has done in the past, and the way David Blaine does the trick is he actually uses this sort of magic prop. It's known as a loop. And if you don't know what a loop is this invisible, very thin thread. It's even thinner than, say, dental floss. Even thinner than that, it's almost invisible, right? And what David Blaine does in his version of the trick is he takes a playing card, and what he does is he scrapes down on someone's nose with the playing card, and the other person is going to feel it. How are they going to feel it? What he does is he takes a loop, he's going to wrap it around his fingers. So basically, he holds his hands just like so, and he's going to have a thread in between his hands, right? He's holding it as it's wrapped around his fingers. So he's basically got this thread, but nobody can see the thread because loops are nearly invisible. Now, they are very fragile, but very much invisible. And what he does is he basically goes like this in front of, he makes this sort of motion next to their head. So basically their head would be in the middle of his hands. And what he does is he actually just uses the invisible thread to scrape down their nose. So he's going to do that. He's going to say, check this out. Everybody watching, they don't see him touching the person's nose, right? Because he's obviously using an invisible thread to scrape down the person's nose. What he does then is he'll take a playing card, he'll scrape down another person's nose, and then they'll obviously both feel that their nose were touched, right? That's how that David Blaine does his version of the trick. I believe Chris Angel did a version of that as well. And the majority of them do involve loops. Now, what he did here, what X is going to do is got to be a little bit different, obviously, because, he doesn't do this motion. But then again, we have to understand, you can't, there is no sort of connection where you can make it work, right? What do I mean by that? So you can't make someone feel a touch unless you're actually touching them, unless something is actually touching them, right? You'll notice here every time right before X is going to go in and touch the one person, they have a camera cut right before that, so we don't actually know if he goes up to the other person and does some sort of motion. That part might have been cut out, and to that end, we actually don't know what happened, right? For all we know, right in the in the camera cut, right before he goes to touch the person's head, he may have gone over to their side and started doing some random hand motion, waving his hands around the person, doing something where he could actually touch the person and then go back to the middle, and the producers cut that entire part out. But you'll notice in the video, there's so many different camera cuts. If this trick was real, they would just show the stage the entire time. They wouldn't cut to the judges. They wouldn't have to show this really far angle. Think about it. What is the point of having that camera angle that's behind all the spectators where you literally can't see anything? What's the point of using that camera angle? Well, we can't see what's going on stage. So you have to notice there's all these little subtleties. So what I'm saying here is he could have used the invisible thread, the loops, for his trick, but obviously we don't know because there's so many camera cuts. So I'm not here to make theories. I'm not here to say that he faked it, but what I will say is that he may or may not have used the producers to basically make his trick look better by cutting out certain parts of the trick. But think about it. Something has to touch both of them for them to both feel it. You can't just have this magic connection, right? Now, in terms of the board, this is actually a really popular trick that I've actually taught on the channel before. And what it does is what you do is you give, for example, he had 2 boards, and he's going to show it's blank, right? Now, obviously, again, this is where the camera cut would help. At one point, what he's going to do is he's basically going to get rid of that front cover. So basically, the blank part, or the blank page, is just like this cover page, right? And what's going to happen is that page is just going to flip over, or he's going to take it off at one point, or flip it around, something to the point where actually what's happening is the paper that they're getting, once they close their eyes, they're not actually drawing because the marker he gives them has no ink in it. Now, this is a trick that we've taught before. So no matter what they do, they're not actually drawing because the marker has no ink. They're just drawing randomly, right? Because obviously they can't draw the same exact thing. It's staged beforehand. So basically the two little pieces of paper that he gives them already have that drawing pre-drawn on it. And when he gives them the marker, once they close their eyes, he's going to do a little switch. He's going to give both of them a marker that has no ink and have them draw in random places, make these random little marks. And once they open their eyes, it'll be the exact same because they never drew anything in the first place. It was there before they started drawing. The marker just had no ink. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Unfortunately, we weren't able to give you guys a full reveal. This type of trick, these sort of mentalism, psychic types of tricks, you need to see every single part of it. And unfortunately, BGT does a lot of camera cuts in their acts. So, we're not here to make assumptions all the time. But we will say, again, we did teach you how to do the board. And obviously, we showed you how David Blaine and Chris Angel do their version of it where they have the loops. Do I think it's staged? Who knows? But anyway, guys, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. And anyway, this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out, guys.